So this is Wu Shang, which is an essential oil. I almost don't want to tell you what it is, because as soon as you know what it is, like, you have so many preconceived ideas. Like, I really enjoyed working with this oil without knowing what it was, just with the Chinese name. It's kind of cool when you just have the Chinese name, because you don't have all these ideas. But given that probably most of you won't go and get it, I'll tell you. So it's patchouli, which, yeah, I mean, I hear you say, like, instantly you've got all of these ideas. So yes, I will finish what I was saying about the patchouli, but just to say that I was going to do this enormous box over there, but it's like, well, we're not even going to look over there, but it's late again. And yeah, it's a special day. So yeah, 20 years ago today, my sister died in a car accident and I lost the ability to walk. And this is a box that is a time capsule of from then, because I was never really able to go back to the house because I was in a wheelchair. And then stuff got stuck in the attic, and then I got busy with life, and only, like, I don't know, 5 years ago did this box make it from the attic to this house. So this is like me opening a time capsule from 20 years ago, which, you know, I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but, you know, I've done this. I did a little sort of meditation and a ceremony to honor Lila, and, you know, that was really beautiful. Yeah, managed to make myself cry, which was quite impressive, I thought. Oh God, now I feel like I'm being really sentimental, but I'm saying that to say, I guess, that, you know, I want to, like, honor the fact that it's about her as well. But I guess I'm also just being honest about the fact that I'm doing this decluttering today, and this is, like, quite special. And, you know, I think everybody has boxes like this that are like little time capsules from the past. So anyway, I need to get on with it because it's the middle of the night and stop waffling. So I'm just going to set up the video over there. So here I am again. And yeah, I mean, I'm a bit surprised I'm doing this publicly. But in a way, it's because of this whole working with the oils thing that it's made it more special. Like, if I don't know how to explain this. If I was just decluttering on my own and not burning any oils and not make a thing of it, it would just be me decluttering a box. But somehow burning the patchouli and kind of lighting candles and doing it on this day and doing it, you know, being witnessed by other people, somehow kind of makes it more of a thing. And I wasn't really planning that. It's just, I find that working with plant medicine in whatever form, whether it's drinking teas or tinctures or using the oils, it just makes you act differently, could we say? Yeah, makes you kind of just flow a little bit more. Just takes you off into la la land, basically, and makes you act weird. Yeah. So anyway, before I get started, yeah, so what I was saying about patchouli, I mean, there's so many judgments. When I realized that it was patchouli, I was just like, oh my God, like hippie herb, you know, just, you associate it. It's like, sort of, it's an awful thing to say, but it's just like the most discriminated against herb there is, really. It's got such a bad reputation, mainly because patchouli is generally not good quality and overused. So you're getting a poor quality oil and then you're getting it in large doses, so it is revolting. But with a good quality one in very, very small doses, it's really, really potent. And I guess this is where I'm going to kind of open up a little bit about why I'm so obsessed with the oils. And I think it's because they're just really potent. And I mean, for years I've been studying Chinese medicine, like 20 years studying and then 17 years in practice. And
I mean, I remember once, like, somebody said to me like 10 years ago, you know, an old university friend, they were like, oh, so you do aromatherapy, do you? And I remember being so insulted, like, because I practice acupuncture, and I sort of had this idea of like, oh God, they thought I did aromatherapy, like it was like some sort of diminutive, kind of waffly hippie thing. And I mean, I loved essential oils, but just this idea that they thought I just did that instead of Chinese medicine. It's, you know, I had such a kind of view of it just being all flaky, basically. And then, so my Chinese medicine teacher, who I always talk about, who's amazing, Jeffrey Yuen, you can look him up. He's like 88th generation Taoist priest, Chinese medicine practitioner. And generally, he knows what he's talking about. And I mean, he's done lots of courses on everything to do with all aspects of different types of medicine, you know, Chinese, Western, herbs, crystals, oils, you know, just all of it. So yeah, as soon as I say crystals, I know people are going to think, oh, he's just bonkers. But, you know, he does like shamanic courses as well. Now I think he's even more bonkers. But, you know, he's incredibly knowledgeable, and generally what he says is right. I know, because I've had 17 years putting it to the test. And he's always talked about how most of the time aromatherapy isn't working as well as it could, because it's basically overused, and, you know, people are using these potent oils on the body in, you know, poor quality oils and overuse. And so then the body's sensory nerves, they just shut down. It's like they're overstimulated, and then there's no effect. Whereas if you use them in tiny, tiny quantities, so like 1 drop in a diffuser, or what he talks about is using them with a toothpick on specific points. And I've known about this practice for about 10 years, and I just thought, yeah, whatever, that's not going to do anything. And then recently, I mean, I suppose for about 5 years, I've been diffusing oils in the treatment room. And then in the last few months, no, probably about the last year actually, I've been kind of working, like, specifically diffusing oils that relate to the channels that I'm treating with acupuncture. I don't know why I'm putting all this in a decluttering video. Anyway, never mind, I'm off now. It does all relate, and thank you if you're still here. The idea of this is that you're decluttering, by the way, whilst I'm talking, and I will be decluttering too. But there's a whole thing about putting it on YouTube, and that's so that it's not for the people who just want a bit of entertainment. It's for the people who want to actually declutter and have company whilst they're decluttering. And it's like part of this kind of co-working, co-creating thing that I'm really into. But anyway, that's a sidetrack. But the point is that ideally you are decluttering whilst I'm waffling. So anyway, back to where I was. Oh no, it's late at night again. I've forgotten what I was talking about. I need more rosemary. Yeah, so I've been, like, you know, putting in the diffuser the points that work with the channels. Anyway, in the last few weeks, particularly since kind of, yeah, being introduced to Alchemica Botanica, which are these amazing oils that Evelyn goes to China and sources the like right distilleries, and they're just really potent. And I got them in Barcelona offer. And then doTERRA as well have like really pure quality oils. And so, like, you know, with this upgrade of like really pure oils, and then I started to like think, oh, I'm going to try just using the toothpick on certain points. And I mean, it's just been insane how potent these treatments have been. So it's really kind of reinforced my belief in my faith in this practice and the potency of them. And anyway, the point of all this is that when I first got Wo Shang, which is the Chinese word for patchouli, I just, you know, put a little bit on the top of my head, and you know, smelt it a lot before I went to bed. And I can't believe I'm sharing all this. Is this a good idea? I guess so. In for a penny, in for a pound. So there is a reason that it does relate to decluttering. I yeah, so and then I did a little journey because I've done some shamanic work. So I did a little journey to visit the oil, fell asleep, but that's fine. Um, and then woke up, and I woke up in floods of tears. And I'd had all these dreams about all these beautiful times I shared with Reno. And I was crying and I was just releasing all this grief about the breakdown of our marriage. I mean, I've done years and years and years of therapy to try and cry, and half the time it doesn't work. Yeah. So I was quite impressed that not only did this oil enable this kind of release of grief, but it also kind of showed me how to access the grief, and that was through remembering these beautiful memories like that we'd had. And I think because sometimes you don't want to remember the good stuff, you kind of want to remember the bad stuff to kind of let go, and I don't think that's quite the right approach. I mean, at some point, unfortunately an expert in grief, so at some point I'll probably do a course on that. And there are a lot of different oils to help with grief, and the reason I'm talking about grief is because it's all to do with letting go, and I've really struggled for years and years to let go on so many levels. And I think that is one of the reasons why I have so much stuff in my house. And so decluttering, it's about getting rid of stuff, but it's also about letting go. And the other reason I'm talking about this is because somebody did ask, like, when it comes to really emotional stuff, how do you let go? So, we're about to, and I recommended cedarwood, which I know is great for letting go, but I don't fully understand yet how cedarwood, I need to work more with that to understand how. But with patchouli, I know that that's how it works, is to help you remember the beautiful times. So anyway, back to today. This is like the time capsule of pre-accident and letting go of, I mean, God, so much. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of that. It'll turn into like a weird therapy session. But the point is, I guess I need to start decluttering, and I'm hoping that maybe somebody who wants to also tackle a box of emotional things, that they'll be inspired to burn like one drop of patchouli in the diffuser, smell it, and then enjoy the kind of gifts of these memories. I think that can be a really lovely way to let go, but we'll see. Anyway, starting off in here, because I mean it's like the middle of the night and I've got to get up early, I'm being gifted with some cards, which is really lovely. Some poppies, which like obviously alleviate pain and were a large part of my journey post accident with the morphine. And a klimt, is it called klimt? Yeah, klimt. No, it's not a klimt at all. It's a Mark Rothko. Mark Rothko. It doesn't look vaguely like klimt. That just shows how little I know about art. I just remembered what klimt looks like. Nothing like that. Anyway, Mark Rothko. Beautiful images. So they are going to be added to my oracle deck. What a gift. Some rosewood essential oil. I mean, I don't know why I don't declutter more often. It's like just a box of gifts. Some belladonna, homeopathy. I mean, this is a proper like exciting one, isn't it? I've got like crystals, and this is like, I mean, I'm just going to make more of a mess, really, aren't I? So, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of any of this stuff. Like a bracelet. I mean, some stuff, I guess, it's just about putting away, isn't it? Tidying. I don't even know what stone that is. It's beautiful. Yeah, so now if I start rambling about what I'm getting, it's really less interesting. And so what, in terms of how this is working, one of the things that I mean, today I basically spent way too much time looking at my phone and trying to figure out how to upload videos and edit videos and all the rest of it. And I'm just spending way too much time on that and not enough time on the actual decluttering. That's very sweet. But some of this jewellery, I'm not sure I'd actually wear. Maybe I need to think about this. Oh, jewellery. God. Yeah, so, and you know, I'm nearly halfway through this and my house is not looking decluttered. You know, there's a few spaces in the sitting room that are very satisfying, but you know, really the house is a complete tip still. So I'm gonna have to up my game dramatically. And but so the good thing is that I have mastered the technology now. I have, as you can tell with my professional videos, you're right. But what basically, I don't want to be spending hours on technology. So what I've decided to do, because I can't be doing all this with all this editing, faffing around, is just, what I really love is the idea when people have said to me that they are also decluttering, and that, you know, I'm keeping them company and helping them to kind of feel inspired to declutter. And you know, what I'd like to work towards is maybe like some Zooms or something where we all declutter at the same time. So instead of me just talking to you, we can talk to each other. But I like that aspect of it. And so that's for people who are actually going to declutter rather than, you know, the sort of, you know, little story, comedy, video entertainment, which is nice to provide a bit of entertainment, but I don't really have the time to spend hours and hours providing entertainment. Luckily, I'm really into collaboration and AI is good at those little story videos. So what I'm going to do is basically get AI to do a little story advert for me, which, because it seems to me like those stories are basically just adverts on Instagram, for then people to go to basically a YouTube channel where I can just upload the whole damn thing, make a cup of tea whilst it's uploading, and then you can just watch the whole thing whilst you're decluttering, and I'm not faffing around with all this editing malarkey. So this is going to take me hours because I can't even detangle this. So the point of this is to say, I don't know what the point of this is to say. The point of this is to say that what it means is that I can just kind of take my time and waffle, knowing that this is not about trying to make a snapshot. This is about actually spending time with people who are going to take the time to hang out virtually. And if it's too short, then that's not enough time to get any decluttering done, is it? That is cool. Oh my God, some cool jewellery. I don't think I'm going to be very good at letting go of any of this stuff. It's all really cool. I mean, what I can divide it into is maybe that I probably wouldn't wear, but I might use as beads. So I might add that to my bead stuff. Same with that one. Whereas these ones are more like wearing ones. Or are they? Probably wouldn't wear that either. That can go to beads. Yeah, would I wear that? Probably not, actually, let's be honest. Yes. Yeah, those are quite cool. You never know when you might have like a tribal party. Wow, an amazing bit of coral. I am so just going to make a mess of my bedroom here. Yeah. So what was the point of all of that? Point of all of that was that if you're sitting there thinking, what am I doing sitting here listening to Nick waffle on? You shouldn't be doing that. You should be, I don't want to say you should be, nobody should be doing anything, but ideally the way to make the best use of this video is to pause it, make a cup of tea, herbal tea ideally, and then God, I'm sounding all bossy now, aren't I? These are amazing. Like, just as I decide to start putting essential oils on points, I'm like gifted with these like amethyst needles. I mean, this is exciting. So yeah, so this is the trouble with making videos late at night. You actually have no idea what you're talking about. The point is that ideally you're decluttering as well. I mean, and you know, I mean, Becca said she was just doing dull housework, and even if it can, like, housework can be less dull, that's lovely, isn't it? But I will be trying to get you on Zoom so we can do it together. So then it's like a sort of, You know, it's like, you know, we don't need to live, but now we have like this incredible technology. Ooh, look, I found a chemical face cleaner, Garnier Synergy. See, it's got a leaf on it. It's pretending to be all natural, but it's got loads of small ingredients that I can't read. So, and it's bound to be out of date. So it can go in the bin. Woohoo! Oh, I love you, Lay. You see, that's hard because that, you know, my first mum, she used to wear that. So that is a strong reminder of her smell. But unfortunately, it's not natural, and it's also it's probably very out of date. So I think what might be nice to do there is to clean it out and use the bottle as a way of sort of remembering her, but actually get rid of the oil. So that's going to go into a rinse out thing. Yeah, the point is that you're decluttering as well, because we all live these isolated lives. And I mean, obviously you're probably thinking, oh, maybe Nick's just a bit lonely and sad, but trust me, that's not really the case. Like, I've, you know, got quite a lot of childcare on my hands, and yeah, lots of friends nearby, which is lovely. Plenty to do, which is why I end up doing this in the middle of the night. But I do think that the things like, you know, you don't generally do housework with your friends, you don't generally do decluttering with your friends or work with your friends, and I think it's quite nice to do these things collaboratively. You know, what I've witnessed in 20 years of practice is that a lot of people I work with just feel really isolated. Oh my god, I just found jasmine, absolute, and sandalwood. This is like a gift from the past. I do find that decluttering, every single day I've decluttered, I've had a gift. You know, I've had like a knife sharpener. One day I got like a dark chocolate popcorn when I, you know, unpacked some Christmassy stuff. Little bag of stones. You see, this is why I haven't unpacked. It's like, where the hell am I going to put all of this? Okay, good. This is another pot that I can get rid of. This is like another Oil of Ulay cream. So yeah, so this is not even me unpacking just the Bristol House attic. This is also the Bristol House attic stuff from Paul Gray. It's interesting. You'd think that that smell would have a strong association. It does a little bit. It does a little bit. But yeah, that's got to go. In fact, that's going to go. Oh, that's going to be bin, but recycling, isn't it? So you see, yeah, I guess all of those can be recycled once they're emptied out. Hand and nail cream, that's a definite bin. Good, so we've got a load more chemicals here that can go. Bifacial Lancome. You see, they sound all fancy, but it's just more chemicals again. Doesn't even smell of anything. Yeah, and so the other thing is that I'm making very slow progress with my house, and I will have to speed up and probably not just chat through all of them, but I guess more jasmine. I wanted a chance to just explain what I'm doing, which I haven't really explained. See, the only thing with these, this is like extract in French, aromatic extract. It's French, might be quite nice. I wonder, the thing is it 100%? That's the thing. It just says lavender. I mean, it does smell lovely. Yeah, we've got 2 weeks basically. I mean, you can start this declutter at any time, and I can, you know, you can just go back to day one and I can keep you company. I'll try and, oh, I don't know what I'll do, if I'll upload them all to YouTube or not. Maybe not, but you can find them on Instagram. Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, so this is 20 years ago I was into essential oils, but not quite as obsessed as my daughter says as I am now. Oh my god, so this is like back in, like, oh, that's so rank. I'm gonna have to clean this. whoa, I don't know if you can see this. This is like a green mush from when I was like, you know, when I was in Mississippi. That's like 20 years old or longer. I mean, I was making like stuff like that when I think this is like my infected wounds cream that I made when I was like in Mississippi. That would be like when I was 22. So, I mean, I'm nearly 50, so like 30 years ago. That can't be any good. It kind of still has some of its smell though. Amazing. Crazy. Anyway, I'll have to, I'm quite intrigued to like give that a try, but maybe that's a bit grim. I think I'll probably just have to put it in the bin. True Illusion. Yeah, that's bin, but then I got to recycle the glass. Yeah, so it does feel a bit odd waffling away. Heartfelt Farm. I think this is from when I used to work at the health food store in Mississippi years ago. Yeah, that's no good anymore. Yes, it would be better, you know, on a Zoom with other people. But anyway, so the idea is that like everybody needs to step up their decluttering massively so that we can get this done in the next 2 weeks. I'd really love to see some posts and videos from other people. This is a nut. I've no idea. What is that nut? It's probably... I don't know. Curious. God, it's amazing how many essential oils. Lang Lang, chicory. What's that? Another lavender from France. They're all coming in. Yeah, I don't want to make decluttering videos for like the whole year. I mean, I'm going to have to do a lot more. I mean, I may have to carry on decluttering a bit, but I won't be doing it publicly. Yeah, no, but what I want to do is what I do want to do is kind of like this whole working online and like co-creating and, you know, being in tune with the seasons and the elements and the calendar, like on the Mayan calendar today. I'm a bit into calendars at the moment. This is like day 2 of a 13-day period, and it's all about a good day for emotional ceremonies and releasing emotions in a ceremonial way, which just happened to fit with the day of the accident, Lila passing. So yeah, that was perfect and a good day to do like a decluttering for an emotional thing. And it's, you know, winter and all the leaves have gone and we're pre-spring, so I'm trying to kind of work in line with, you know, the moon and the seasons and the elements and the Mayan calendar and everything. And I'd love to do that with people. Bergamot and coriander body wash. Wow, a bit dusty, but kind of looks amazing. And you know what that might look like, you know, so for example, like the first 9 days in February is going to be all about like full immersion into rest, like mega rest. We're going like deep dive rest before, you know, February the 9th, which is like the beginning of the Chinese New Year, the beginning of spring, second new moon after the winter solstice, like, yeah. And, you know, to kind of inspire each other in that way. And then to have this time of like new beginnings and new ideas. And I'd love to like just work with people, helping them kind of get, you know, find ways to just actually give birth to their projects and mine. You know, like I've got some unfinished projects that I need to do and I'm very keen to do, and I'm going to really focus on those in, you know, after February the 9th in the spring. Wow, this is like kind of Aladdin's treasure trove. Like more beads from half finished necklaces and things. Yeah, I've got a number of projects. I'm pretty good at starting projects and not finishing them. And yeah, some of the people watching might know what I'm talking about. You know, I have not forgotten you. I'm referring to the people in Jordan, you know, the kids. I mean, there may, you know, yeah, there may even be people, if you're watching me and you know who you are, one of the kids in Jordan. I think about you a lot and I have not forgotten you. And I'm determined to make that exhibition happen this spring. Yeah, I mean, they're probably not watching, so I'm probably apologising to the wrong people. But anyway, you know, there is something about declaring things publicly and making yourself accountable. It's like, that's why I'm doing all this decluttering. Well, call it decluttering, more like messing up my bedroom. But you know, maybe other people might be inspired to also, like, if they're working with me, say, hey, I'm going to do this, and make themselves accountable. And I mean, it's okay if it takes ages, and you know, but it's just doing a little bit each day, isn't it? I think that's what I've learned from this. Alder and aloe herbal apricot balm. You know, whatever it is, just helping each other do a little bit each day. I mean, that's got to go. It's got to be so out of date. Thread. Ooh, lipstick. Nice. Just what I need. Great. What a treasure trove. Hairbands. Always need hairbands. Brilliant. This is like better than Christmas Day. Okay. Hairbands. That looks like not a very good hairbrush. I think I can get rid of that. Charity shop. Shell. Very sweet shell. Add that to this collection. Goodness me, goodness me. Those beads are not so nice. They can go to the charity shop. Rose and cucumber talcum powder. You see, that sounds really natural and really lovely. But talcum powder, that's full of crap. You can make your own with arrowroot. But actual talc, I believe, has some, I mean, it's so sad because it's such a sweet little package. But talc, I think, is made with something dodgy, so that's going to have to go. Oh, look, a little picture of Georgina. Very sweet. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't, it's too small. I don't know if you can, you probably can't even pause. I don't know, maybe you can pause and zoom in. No idea. Oh, and a picture of me and Barney. Maybe we're, so I just got these cloths which are just beautiful. I just got them from Churches today, our little local shop in Ashburton, which is amazing, and they're like plant dyed cloths. I mean, you know, just go to get a cloth and I find a plant dyed cloth. I mean, it's incredible. Anyway, I was thinking about, and I had quite a lot of fun actually. My idea of fun is changing so much. Pouring all of these chemical things down the shower today, because yesterday I unblocked the loo with that lot, but today I was unblocking the shower. I felt like, you know, it reminded me of like when I was a kid, I used to like do George's Marvellous Medicine. You'd go around and get all the shampoo and makeup and then like make a potion, and then you'd have to pour it all away. Anyway, it reminded me of that. Herbal foot balm. Probably very out of date. Herbal foot balm. It is amazing how some herbal things hold their smell, but not quite enough. I can make a fresh one. So yeah, that's gonna go. I mean, yeah, like I had this Angelica root from like 20-30 years ago, from when I was like working with Gail at the health food store in Mississippi, and I used it to do a journey, and it was quite extraordinary. So some things do last. Anyway, I'm sort of slightly surprised at myself. You know, I did do a little, you know, smelling all the patchouli, and I did a little cacao ritual thing, and the day, and combination of all of these things making me very open, which is sort of surprising me, and especially to strangers. You know, I don't know who's watching this, and I was wondering about it, like why am I being so open? Like, because when essentially what I'm trying to go from is a sort of 20 years of a one-to-one practice to working, to expanding my work. And but I'm not, you know, in a one-to-one practice, I don't tell people that, yeah, that's really important. I don't share anything about myself as a practitioner. But I'm not, oh, these are beautiful. Oh my God, just been gifted from the past, from my younger self, these beautiful earrings. Oh, I'm gonna put them straight in. How amazing. And they're like green, which is obviously the colour of jade, which is this lineage that I'm working in. I don't know if they are jade, but they're green. I'll find out what they are. I don't know how I'll find out what they are, actually. Maybe I can ask the local jeweler, Kate. She's amazing. Or you may, I don't know. So yeah, so at first I was thinking, you know, like group therapy, but I don't think that's the thing. And then like teaching, because I used to teach, but I don't think that's the thing either. I think what I really like the idea of is not being a sort of group practitioner or a group teacher, but like a creative facilitator. I did a course in creative facilitation at Schumacher about years ago, and it was amazing because it essentially taught me how to facilitate ceremonies, which I didn't realise that was the intention. It was just creative facilitation. I just picked up like an angel brooch just as I say that, so that's quite amazing. In fact, this is like, just as I'm talking about creative facilitation of ceremonies, I'm suddenly opening up this little box full of like an angel brooch, and like a, this is like, oh my God, you know those, they're like Tibetan, it's not just in Tibet, there's like these Buddhist sort of things, tablets that people, like shrines that they do, I can't remember what they're called, like sort of long rectangular shrine things, tablets. Anyway, I've got this necklace, which I'm not so keen on the chain, but it's got these 3 things on it. I can't read. Vision, safe, and joyful. Vision, safe, and joyful. Interesting combination. Vision, safe, and joyful. I mean, vision and joyful, yes. Safe. It's an interesting one. I guess keeping myself safe. Yeah, I mean, I can be quite impulsive, so maybe that's a good thing. And then a Christian cross. I mean, that's complicated, that is, isn't it? Yeah, very complicated relationship with that. Park that one for now. And who's this? Saint Christopher. Yeah, so anyway, that's mad, isn't it? Just started talking about creating. Anyway, it's not just ceremonies, it's like, my view is that like every day is a ceremony, every act is a ceremony, or ideally would be, and without getting all fancy pants about it, it's more just about collaborating and like co-working and co-facilitating and just kind of working in just an expansive way with other people, like, you know, kind of inspiring each other to do things. But I mean, I guess it all sounds a bit flaky, and I mean, in terms of the very clear sense of what I want to do, apart from open this glass jar, which is not happening, but I'll save that anyway because it's a good glass jar. I want to basically bring the wisdom of the East into working with the plants in the West. That's my clear thing, is that, you know, the Chinese medicine understanding with the Western plants. Here we have a goat bell. You never know when you might need a goat bell. But it's quite a sweet sound. So random. Another one from Heartfelt Farm. Anyway, do let me know. As you can see, I'm not, other than, I mean, chemicals is a good one, isn't it? Because then you can get rid of quite a lot of things. But other than the chemicals, I'm not doing so well at getting rid of stuff here. Yeah, that's gone. So sometimes when you leave things for a really long time, it is easier to get rid of them. Like, it's like paperwork. If you leave it for like 10 years, it just becomes irrelevant, doesn't it? This is going to be a test of my sense of smell, because the label is so smudged that there's no sense of what that is. Oh my god, that smells amazing. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, I think it's a minty. Yeah, some sort of mint. God, this amazing, like, oh my god, I found that. It's just extraordinary. Like how when the time's right, you open up these things, and here I am suddenly going essential oil mad, and I open up this like Chinese pot that I'd forgotten I had, with like a little, it's like a perfume bottle. I mean, it's just amazing. These things that just come at the right time. Yeah, so anyway, I guess, you know, it's like I want to work with people, and, you know, partly there is an element of like, I guess, using the sort of way I work with people in my one-to-one practice, but in a larger way. So it's really just kind of, that's what I've been doing for 20 years, is just helping people kind of move forwards, you know, through where they are. So it totally depends on what's going on when they come. Like, it could be anything, it could be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. You know, they come and we work with what is happening. So yeah, that's always a good place to start, really. Oh my god, I don't even know what that is, but it is just otherworldly. That's gonna drive me crazy. I have no idea. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine some of you are thinking, oh, I need to go around to Nick's house and smell these things, see if I can figure them out. Charlotte Chance, if you're watching, you're welcome. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is like really amazing ring. But obviously, well, obviously I'm not going to put it on my engagement finger because I'm not engaged. God, amazing. yeah, got a pearl in a flower. All these buried treasures. Yeah, so the good thing about the Zoom, you see, is that, I mean, the difficult thing is trying to find a time that everyone can do, but I guess we can just do different times, you know, or I could experiment with some sort of live Instagrams and see, like, just who's free. But it'd be nice, you know, just to see what we end up chatting about, or if people have got questions, you know, in terms of, like, you know, what would be the Taoist approach to XYZ. And, you know, I don't have all the answers, but I've got some idea. You know, I've been learning for a long time. That's a chain to go with the jewelry fixing stuff. And this is a little thing. Enough to know that, oh wow, amazing. God, it's like a little sort of photo locket of my parents. What an extraordinary gift. I mean, it's like a bit of a naff metal, like a heart-shaped locket. Yeah, I think I need to just put it in a different locket, but like really sweet little pictures. Yeah, quite a special box. You know, we all have these things. It's like, you know, those sort of things that are up in the attic or in storage, and it's like, I mean, this is how the body works, you know, in my understanding of it. It's, you know, what you can't handle, you sort of store away, like pathogens get stored away in the body, you know. One of their sort of teachings from the classical Chinese medicine is working with the divergent meridians, where it's this idea that, yeah, everything, you know, your body will store pathogens that it can't process in the joints to protect the organs. And then when you're depleted and you don't have enough resources, you know, you've not been hydrated enough, not been resting enough, then the joints all start to hurt, which is a sort of sign that you're depleted and the body's struggling to hold those pathogens in the joints still. And so, you know, people call it autoimmune disease or whatever, but it's essentially meaning that the person's knackered and depleted and can no longer hold these latent pathogens, because we all have lots of latent pathogens in the system, and starts to come out and cause problems. Yeah, and that, you know, you're only able to kind of release things when you have the capacity. Like, so, you know, there's a lot of treatments where people sort of try and release things, but the way I've been taught is you never sort of, you know, you can't as a practitioner decide when somebody's ready to release things. Just like I can't force people to declutter their houses. You know, they will declutter them when they have the emotional, mental and physical capacity to do so. You know, it's like your house is just a manifestation of your body, and it's taken me 20 years to have the emotional, mental, physical capacity to do this, to declutter. You know, you've got to have the resources, haven't you? I don't mean money. By resources, like in Chinese medicine, you generally mean, you know, open diaphragm, so like you're able to breathe and relax, you know, strong kidneys, you've got rest, and you know, fluids, you're hydrated. Yeah, and the breathing is, you know, you're actually able to exhale. All these things, you know, have to be in place for someone to be able to release stuff. Which is why, much as I can say declutter, declutter, you know, people will do it when they're ready. This is neuralgia. I've made some like herbal thing. It's like, it's got skull cap, lemon balm, Chinese angelica, olive oil, sunflower oil, licorice, calendula, bergamot, tea tree, beeswax, benzoin, geranium, lavender and eucalyptus, and cayenne pepper. Like, that I've made like 30 years ago. this is how long I've been wanting to do this. But somehow it took me 30 years just to figure out diagnosis. Which I think I'm sort of getting there. It does still smell good. Amazing. I'm going to keep that one. You know, I mean, you know, it's a lifelong journey, isn't it? Diagnosis. Trying to get that right. But, you know, I've had some good teachers, and mainly they've just taught me to listen. Because that's the amazing thing, is that when you work with people, they kind of tell you all the answers as they're asking you the questions. So that's really helpful. More of this. Yeah, anyway, I am really waffling, and I'm showing off my ability to basically monologue. But I think what I need is proper interaction with all of this, rather than just me monologuing. I think that's where a Zoom would be better. So I don't know, maybe I won't continue to just make long monologues. It seems a bit sort of indulgent somehow. Oh, that's nice. And I think it's helping the decluttering. Not totally sure. Tiger muscle rub. I probably need to get a move on though, or my video will be too long for even YouTube. Tiger muscle rub. Yeah, you see, this is cool. I want to start like making some tiger balm potions, creams, you know, because a lot of it's quite straightforward, you know, like peppermint and camphor is key. So I might need to like study the ingredients in that. Okay, natural blonde. Yeah, that's just chemical crap, isn't it? Concealer's a tricky one. I have to admit, I do use concealer under my eyes, because even though I'm in tune with the seasons and the elements and the moon, I haven't got the basic day and night bit yet, you know, where you're actually sleeping in the night and awake in the day, going with the light. So yeah, I do look a little bit tired and end up using concealer. So what I really need to do is go to bed early and get up at 5 to get everything done. But it's just hard, isn't it, to make that switch. In the meantime, I'm using concealer, and that is something that is hard to find, natural concealers. I might have to look into trying to make that, but that, I don't know, for some reason feels a bit more complicated, but I'm sure there's a way. Really up for, you know, making whatever, you know, we need to make, so we don't have to like put crap in our bodies, you know, like this Nivea that can just go in the bin. Tampax, luckily I don't need that anymore. That's probably a bit too much information, sorry about that. Right, another little pot. So yeah, I'm trying to think a bit more about, I guess the questions I've been asked so far are, why are you doing this in public, which I think I spent quite a long time in 3 reels on Instagram explaining why. Gave about 10 reasons. And then, how do you let go of things that you're emotionally attached to? So as you can see, I need a bit more practice at that, because I'm not emotionally, well, some of these are emotional attachments, but having the kind of rule of thumb of like chemicals. But there's the classic, is it Marie Kondo, who's like, you know, you hold it in your hand, and if, you know, does it bring me joy? You know, you kind of ask yourself, does this bring me joy? You know, how do I feel holding it? So I've got all of these like coins here, which are foreign coins, which I don't think are going to help me. They're like, I don't know, I should probably find out what. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not bringing me joy. I mean, even the little pot, it's not, oh, it's quite sweet. Okay, here's a good practice. I'm going to hold this in my hand. Actually, the flowers are really lovely on top. Okay, I think, okay, I'm going to try and feel into this. Does this bring me joy? This is one of those situations where I want it to bring me joy because I like the look of the flowers on top, but I don't really feel it. It actually feels like that. The feeling's kind of like and somebody else might really appreciate it in a charity shop. So I think I'm just going to put the whole thing in the charity shop pile. So yeah, so maybe that method of like, you know, not in your head do you like it, but how do you feel? Does it feel exciting? Or, you know, I think the question was like, the question was like, you know, if it's something that you kind of feel bad about letting go of because you were given it by, you know, a family member or something. And I think there it's just, oh, I've got something in my mouth, sorry. It's just imagining, like, you know, if you give it to a charity shop, someone's going to really appreciate it. And I think, you know, I think they came up with the idea of kind of having a little chat with the person in their head about, you know, is it okay if I give it away, and, you know, getting an answer. But, you know, I mean, actually, if you're not nuts about something and you give it away, somebody else might give it as a gift to someone and they might love it. I mean, now I see it over there in that pile. I'm like, great, like that can go to a charity shop and I won't miss it. Somebody else will enjoy it. I love these little, I think I've got a thing about containers. I love these little things. I mean, I've no idea what I'd actually do with them though, but I really love them. That's like a complete no-brainer for me, even though I have no idea what it's actually going to be useful for. Oh, I could tell, but that's gone. A die, that's always interesting to have a die. Although if I do a die, I would be more interested in doing natural dyes now, or probably one in the washing machine. And this is like a hand dye, takes ages, it's not natural, so I think that can go to the charity shop as well. A doorknob, I mean, what? Yeah, that's just gonna have to go, isn't it? Yeah, hairband. Oh wow, this is, oh my god. I'd forgotten, this is like my favourite all-time cup. It's like this beautiful Japanese design. I love it. Oh, and I'd forgotten I had this. I had this like, this is the gift. I had this like 30, 20 years ago. These little shells. Oh my god, I love that cup. That is just such a treasure. Wow. I mean, yeah, it is good decluttering, isn't it? Because you get rid of stuff and you get all these gifts. You get white chestnut bark essential oil. Never know when you might need that. And another lipstick. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the questions I'd been asked. Yeah, so I don't know, I mean, if anybody else has got ideas about ways to let go of things. As you can see, I've not been very good at it, so I'm hardly the person to ask. I'm just trying to, like, you know, be accountable for my own decluttering and encourage other people to join me so that, you know, we can get into this idea of doing stuff together and working in with the seasons. Oh, what a sweet picture. It's like a little baby photo of me with my parents. So sweet. Like, I've just got some lovely pictures. Lavender gel. It's quite extraordinary to me, actually, just how into essential oils I was 20 years ago. Because I've only really got back into it again, probably the last sort of 5 years. And like especially in the last few years, and then ridiculously in the last few months. So it's funny to see. But I mean, I've always wanted, see, I can still smell that. I've always wanted to I've always wanted to work with local plants with the Chinese medicine view, and I'm probably repeating myself now, I'm just being boring, but it's good to restate your purpose. Yeah, I've always understood and had this strong feeling that the plants that grow in your environment are the ones that are going to work best for you. You see, this is lovely. This is Paloma Picasso. Very expensive perfume, but not natural. So that's quite a tricky one, because it probably was. This is a good example. It probably was my mum's. Very expensive. But like, I mean, unfortunately, a charity shop wouldn't take that, I don't think, because it's a liquid. So then what do I do? Like, I don't want to use it. I don't really want it. Nina wouldn't use it. Can't give it to a charity shop. I mean, it's chemicals, but there's this amazing place now, Eden in Portobello. It's a really cool shop. They basically make all the big brand perfumes, but with like natural products and essential oils, called Eden. You can go in there and say, I want Paloma Picasso or Joe Malone, and they'll do it in natural. Because I got Nina like a, what was it, Good Girl perfume from there. Yeah, so this is a dilemma. I'm going to sit with that for a minute whilst I think what to do with that, because it just feels, but you know, just because it smells good, it is still chemicals, isn't it? So maybe I should just give it to the charity shop and see what they make of it. I mean, the charity shop in town is amazing, and you know, maybe one of the shop owners will keep it, but then they're putting chemicals on their bodies, aren't they? So if they throw it away, they throw it away. I'm just going to put it in the charity shop pile. There we go. More stuff for the bin. More stuff for the bin. More stuff for the bin. It's good. We like stuff for the bin. Oh, makeup. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to start making natural makeup, because otherwise, you know, it's like, maybe that's why all our eyes are going so bad, and maybe it's got nothing to do with macular degeneration and old age. It's just all that crap we put on our eyes every day. Who knows? I mean, yeah, it's not like anyone's really tried. I mean, what woman never wears makeup? I mean, you could say, well, maybe there's lots of people who don't wear makeup and their eyes still probably are lots of people who don't wear makeup, you know, like in China. But I don't know, it'd be interesting to know, like, how when people's eyes degenerate, like, how does that compare across the world, and, you know, in different countries. And I don't know why I'm polishing a swan. Lovely. Nice animal to receive today, swan. These sort of a bit like butterflies, aren't they, transforming from ugly cygnets into beautiful swans. That Paloma Picasso is like, actually, it's really strong. It's like, ooh. At first I thought it was nice, and now it's like lingering with this kind of like ooh smell. It's yeah, it's so different to natural odors. Odors isn't really the right word, is it? Natural essential oils, basically. Okay, so that's hardly got anything in it, but very useful because it's a dark coloured bottle, so I'll definitely keep that. Oh, I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, like, you know, I'm becoming a bit more interested in the whole like eye degeneration thing, just because, well, my eyes are not as good as they were. I'm gonna have to start taking interest in all of that. And I'm wondering, you know, across the world, you know, how in different countries, like some problems, like they don't have as much heart disease in Japan, I don't think. You know, probably a bit more now because they're a bit more sort of influenced by the West, but they generally don't eat quite as much crap. Nice, very small bracelet for a pixie. Let's like lovely, but I'm not sure I could even fit it on my wrist. Oh, I can still smell that Paloma Picasso. Actually, that's quite cool. I like that. Not sure how comfortable it is. Oh. Okay, great. More beads for the charity shop. God, yeah, the sort of the unnatural perfumes, they really linger. I mean, I guess, you know, like Nina says, like that's a good thing about them. They last longer. But oh, they kind of like, yeah, really linger. I mean, I'm getting all excited about the lipstick, but really I'm going to have to start making lipstick too, aren't I? Because that's just chemicals on your lips. But I suppose it's an occasional thing. I don't wear it all the time. I'm going to start turning into a fanatical purist, aren't I? But I mean, it would be good to make a natural lipstick. I think, yeah. Otherwise, it's like a key. What on earth is that key for? I don't think I'll ever find out. That's going to have to go in the bin. Oh no, I'm going to reach the end of the box and then I won't know how to do anything, where to put anything. That can go to the charity shop. That can go there. And Sai Baba. Sai Baba Vibrations. Not quite sure what's in it. Just, is there something in it? Wow. Oh my god, it's like an envelope of powder. If anyone knows anything about envelopes of powder from Sai Baba, I mean, I know Sai Baba's like one of those guru people, but I think he's supposed to be really amazing, but why have I got a load of powder? I mean, I think he's alive. I don't think it's actually Sai Baba's ashes. Yeah, it'd be good to know a bit more about that. Oh god, now it's getting really like pernickety. These little things. Bin, just put them in the bin, Nick. Put them in the bin. Oh god, that smell lingering. Gonna have to, in fact, I just need to like maybe, oh, that's useful. I think I just need to smell some of these other lovely things like the jasmine to get rid of that other smell. Oh, that's better. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay. And then I'll open this because it says Nikki on it. Oh, I opened that already. Jewellery. What is this? It's like a sort of elephant thing. It's quite cute. Ah, now this looks cool. This might just look like a, you know, weird bracelet, but I think it's actually seeds. My feeling. If anyone recognises, I might be wrong. It might just be beads, but I think it's seeds. If anyone recognises what seeds they are, that would be good. If you're still here, I mean, it'd be a miracle if anyone's still here, but I guess if somebody's got a lot of decluttering to do, then they might still be here. Pignon. What on earth is pignon? I mean, yeah, more mysteries. So I need to know about Sai Baba ashes and seed necklace and pignon. If anyone's got any idea about those things, please let me know. I mean, I guess the thing about opening up as well is I know that like most people, 99.9% of people can't be bothered to watch this much waffle, so they won't be listening. So if anyone's listening, it's because they are genuinely interested. And so I'm not sharing everything with everyone. I'm only sharing these things with people who can be bothered to listen. So yeah, that's you. And yeah, I appreciate that. And this is like, oh wow, that's really cool. It's like a sort of stone, like a resin, like sort of frankincense or something, but it's called pignon. I'm gonna have to burn it so that I can get a sense, but it's quite special. God, it's like I've just been gifted all these like ceremonial tools. Really quite amazing. And then this is Sanctus. Well, this is something like, you know, for a sanctuary. Oh my God, that's amazing. Sanctus. I mean, there's something sacred about Sanctus, isn't there? I can't remember, like Sanctus, sanctuary. It's like, isn't it? Maybe doesn't it mean sacred? I guess that's the word where sanctuary comes from. Oh my God, that is out of this world. I don't even know. It's like a sort of, it's like a dark, like resin. Sanctus. I'll have to look it up and start burning it. Basically, I'm going to turn my house into a temple. Nina will probably be horrified. I mean, you know, I say that. It could take a while because at the moment it's like a temple to chaos still. But I'd like it to be, you know, a temple. Just a temple. Not, you know, to life. Maybe I need to think a bit more about what it's a temple to. But, yeah. I think, you know, each room ideally would be like, you know, I remember reading about this, that, you know, like your bedroom is like feng shui, isn't it? It's like everything that you want, you know, that your bedroom represents, you know, your personal space and your love life. And well, hence, I mean, this probably explains quite a lot. My bedroom's an utter disaster. So yeah, that'll be why. And then, you know, various rooms. It's like we had, like, our sitting room was filled with junk for 8 years. That was our family room. And, you know, our family, yeah, it took its toll. So a good thing is that, like, my sitting room is quite good at the moment. So that's good. That's like representing relaxation. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do in a lot of the rooms. So I think that's quite an interesting one as well. If you look at what room in your house is the worst, probably the area that needs most attention. But, you know, I think I've been avoiding tidying my bedroom. I didn't want to, like, I wouldn't have an amazing temple bedroom that, you know, might end up like in a relationship again or something. That would be a disaster. No, I mean, I'm joking, it wouldn't be, but quite enjoying having the space to myself at the moment, I have to admit. Right, I'm now staring at an empty box, waffling inanely. Slightly tempted to put this stuff back in the box, but that would not be right, would it? No, I can't do that. I need to put the box in the recycling. So I'm going to put the rubbish in the box so that I can carry it to the rubbish bin. This is all stuff that's going in the bin, just to show you that I am actually getting rid of some things. I'm not just waffling and keeping everything. This is all stuff that is going in the bin. All this, look, all that and stuff that went before. I know it's quite a lot that I'm keeping. That's going to the charity shop. And those are going to be recycled. So yeah, I think that'll do. And then I might have to go to bed and then figure out this pile tomorrow where I'm going to put everything. But for now, I will just do the charity shop and the bin, the recycling. Yeah, thank you for your for sticking with me. And I would love to maybe like let me know if you want to do like co decluttering, what sort of times of day work for you, or what days, so that we can actually chat, because I think I'm a bit bored of talking to myself. So yeah, that'll be yeah, hopefully you can see a few things have cleared. I've been gradually taking things to different places. I just wanted to say quickly, because I didn't really finish, about the patchouli, that basically, having had this kind of discovery that yeah, it released all these old memories that were in my unconscious that I'd completely forgotten. I then went and, looked up, according to Jeffrey Yuen, what does patchouli do? And it was like, yes, releases old memories. And since then I've used it on, people in acupuncture sessions with certain points. And sure enough, it has released, unconscious repressed memories. So yeah, powerful stuff. So tonight I'm going to just burn it in the diffuser whilst I sleep and see what happens. Although, to be honest, I'll be so exhausted by the time I get up. When the alarm goes off at 6:30, I doubt I'll be able to remember any of my dreams. I mean, that's the thing, is that you've got to use it when you're kind of able to relax in the morning, or at least get up when you're well rested, so you wake up before the alarm. So yeah, always got to have those basic practicalities in there, which at the moment is not happening because I'm decluttering by night.